Every week, the Payne family cuts straight to the real financial story.
The one question, Bob, everyone's asking is, are we in an artificial intelligence bubble? You've been through boom and bust. What do you think?
No hype, no myths. Just what actually matters to your money.
Does feel very similar to what we experienced in the 90s. Where are we, though? Are we in 1995, 1997, 1999?
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Taxi!
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Let me spend 10 minutes here with the king of all Jews, one of my favorite people, Dov Hikind. Mr. Hikind, good morning. How are you, pal?
Good morning, Sid. And I think the first thing I want to do is just say mazel tov, congratulations on the amazing 10 years, on a very personal level, your leadership, your voice, unapologetic, unafraid, always to do what is right in defending what America is all about and in defending our people. I can't say I know another Sid Rosenberg, anybody that comes close to what you represent. So I just want to say on behalf of everybody, thank you very much for your courage, for your leadership, and the example that you set. You could be like Sid Rosenberg, but there aren't too many people like you. They're hard to find. So thank you for everything, Sid.
Well, that means a lot coming from you. I learned a lot from you. I watched you for so many years, and then years ago when I first started to hit the streets, I did it with you on a couple of occasions, and you talk about fearless. I mean, you had guys walking up to you, wanted to punch you right across the face. You never batted an eyelash. You didn't stop speaking. You just kept going on. I said, that's my type of guy. And, of course, I've become close to your whole family, your lovely wife, Shani, and Yoni. You're just a terrific guy. I call you the king of all Jews for a reason, Dov Hikind, because all these things you say about me, and the truth is, I pale in comparison to what you've done your whole life for the Jewish people, decades and decades and decades. So let's get to some of the issues already. Mamdani's here, and he said last night after the rabbi got beat down in the streets or the car sent to the Chabad 100 times, I forget which one, that it's not okay to go after Jewish people. He's going to protect the Jewish community. So we're still seeing examples almost every day of anti-Semitic crimes in this city. The question for you, Dov Hikind, is, do you believe the mayor? Because I can tell you, from me, I don't.
Well, I agree with you totally. He is so freaking smooth, you got to admit. I mean, he plays the game better than any politician I've come across, in a very, very long time. He knows how to play the game, but he does not fool me for a second. It's his philosophy and what he has done in the streets of New York and the things that he advocates. None of that has changed. And, there's nothing more dangerous. I mean, I am less concerned about anti-Semites, the real enemies that we have, Sid. I'm more concerned about Jews who stab us in the back and betray us and dance and celebrate with him. Look, I know you got to deal with him. He's the mayor. There's no choice. But let us not forget what he represents and what he's all about. And one thing about this mayor, about Mamdani, he is the real McCoy. He believes in all that radical stuff that he talked about during the election. He will not change for a moment. So, again, I watch Jews who, put their arm around and they invite him to their table.
Awful.
I know
Awful.
you got to deal with him. I get that. I understand. But please, don't get married to the guy. The guy is dangerous. Nothing has changed.
No, listen, just last week we got this great news that Mahmoud Khalil, the face of the riots at Columbia University where Jewish students they weren't harassed, they weren't bothered, they were terrorized. They had kids that would literally peed in their pants because they were afraid to go to the dorms, okay? This guy, Mahmoud Khalil, led all of it. And we got good news that he's going to Algeria. And what did Mamdani do? This is terrible. He's a New Yorker. He's a sympathizing, terrorist sympathizer. None of that, right? He still is.
Sid, it's great. Look, Khalil will go to Algeria. He'll fight for human rights in Algeria, who go to university there. Things in Algeria, people don't have too many rights. There's no freedom there of any kind. I think it's very good for Algeria to have Khalil. And after Algeria, maybe you can go to Libya, maybe you can go to Syria, and he can fight for gay people. He can fight for all those causes he cares about.
I love it.
Wonderful.
I love it. Yeah, and he's yet to demonize, globalizing the Intifada. Still hasn't said he recognizes Israel as a state. All those minor things that you and I seem to care about, we have not seen. Right. Nothing. And it's funny because a couple of months ago, my wife, Danielle, I know you love her, she came down hard on me. She was really angry. We had a fight because I was calling out the Jews. I was so angry with the Jews, not just from Mamdani, but the Jews, these idiots that stand outside on 42nd Street, even in Tel Aviv. I'm not talking about the parents of the hostages. I get it, okay? I don't talk about them. They're excluded from the conversation. But everyday Jews that hate Bibi Netanyahu, we hate him. Why do you hate him? What? The guy is out there every day. As Trump says, if not for Bibi, you wouldn't have Israel today, okay? So you got Jews out there that love Mamdani but hate Bibi Netanyahu. How does that make sense?
It's nuts. Look, I love your wife. She's the sweetest in the world. And sometimes it's very difficult to criticize your own. It sort of hurts that you have to do that. But it's what I said a couple of moments ago. Our greatest enemies, the enemies that I am most fearful of, are fellow Jews who stab us in the back and betray us. Whether it's people in Hollywood, Hollywood is Jewish. All the Jews in Hollywood. Have they been there for the people of Israel? Have they been there for the Jewish people? And you can go on everywhere. This has always been a tragedy for the Jewish people. And sometimes there's no choice. You guys, look, what you do and the way you are, like I said at the beginning of the show, there is no second Sid Rosenberg, and we need more people like you, not afraid. It's not easy to, there are things that the ADL, other groups do or don't do that I'd like to tell them to go F themselves. I'm not kidding. I mean, they're horrible. They're disgusting.
I know.
They undermine us.
Yeah. Yes.
But it's tough. It's like, your family, but you know what? Sometimes there's no choice, and I totally understand where you're coming from. Someone has to do it.
Frustrated.
And God bless you for
Thank
doing
you.
it.
Thank you again, Dov. I go back to my friend Ron Teruzzi, and I know you're friends with him too. In fact, he had you and I, right after those 6 hostages were murdered in Gaza, the very next day, one of those hostages you've all heard of, Hersh Goldberg, okay? The very next day, Ronnie put together this rally right outside the WPIX building on 42nd Street, and you and I, Dove, kind of ran that thing. Many people showed up. And Beitar has been here for Jews. You may not agree all the time with how they do it. They're a bit aggressive. So what? I mean, and yet you've got the Attorney General, Letitia James, and the Mayor Mamdani of this city banning Beitar from New York. What about all these pro-Hamas groups? What about the Muslim Brotherhood? What about CARE? What about all these other people that roam our streets all day long? They weren't banned, but the Jewish group, they were quick to kick them out.
Listen, Sid, what's new? Hypocrisy, double standard. It's always there, especially when it comes to the Jewish people. So, yeah, you're absolutely right. All these radical Islamist groups that circulate in our city and all over this country. Look, thank God for Donald Trump, because they are addressing things. They are doing serious stuff to address the anti-Semitism, which, as you and I both know, as much as we talk about it, it's sad for me to say, and it's very discouraging, but things are worse than ever before. Jews are afraid. What happened in Crown Heights, the ramming into 770, was it anti-Semitic? Was it not? I don't know. But the bottom line is the Jewish community right now, wherever I talk to people in New York and beyond, they are concerned, Sid, about the future. Do the Jewish people have a future in America? When I hear people say that, remembering that my mother came from Auschwitz to America, okay, in 1947, and loved this country, the idea that people have to even think that is there a future in America for Jews? The answer is yes. But the fact that people are saying this and talking this way is a very sad commentary on what's going on, Sid.
Every week, the Payne family cuts straight to the real financial story.
The one question, Bob, everyone's asking is, are we in an artificial intelligence bubble? You've been through boom and bust. What do you think?
No hype, no myths. Just what actually matters to your money.
Does feel very similar to what we experienced in the 90s. Where are we, though? Are we in 1995, 1997, 1999?
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.